All right, let's get right into it. The data's been gathered, your team is itching to go, and everyone wants to start training that shiny new AI model. But wait, there is one last, absolutely critical step that lands right on your plate. As the AI project manager, you are the final gatekeeper. You're the last line of defense before that data goes on to define everything about your project.
And this right here is why that role is so incredibly important. I mean, this one sentence is really the bedrock of all responsible AI. So what we're going to dig into is exactly how you make sure the data isn't just, good, but that it's fair, it's robust, and it is truly ready for what's coming next.
We're going to break this down into 5 key parts. We'll kick things off with the biggest risk, then run through the checklists, both technical and for fairness. After that, we'll talk about making that crucial go/no-go call and wrap up with what your ultimate mandate is as the project's data guardian.
Let's be perfectly clear about something. Flawed data, it's the #1 vulnerability in any AI project, period. And we're not just talking about getting a few bad results. We're talking about building bias systems, wasting months, or even years of work, and just completely demolishing trust. This isn't just garbage in, garbage out anymore. It's garbage in, catastrophe out. So that's you. You're the gatekeeper. Your main job at this point is to be the human stop sign. You're there to prevent that poison from ever getting into the system in the first place. Honestly, the success or failure of the entire model really rests on this one final check.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do you actually do this? We'll start with the first part of the gauntlet, a super rigorous technical inspection of the data's quality, and, just as important, the journey it took to get to your doorstep. First things first, you have to oversee a formal data quality assessment. You're looking for confirmation on 7 key pillars. Is it complete? Are there huge, critical gaps? Is it accurate? Does it reflect reality? Is it consistent across the board and valid in its format? Is the data timely enough to even be relevant? Are the records unique, so we're not double counting? And finally, does it have integrity, meaning it hasn't been messed with or corrupted? You need a solid yes for every single one of these.
And beyond those core quality checks, you've got some final, non-negotiable confirmations. For supervised learning, missing labels are a complete showstopper. Unresolved outliers? They can throw your whole model way off. And this is a big one. You have to confirm that no unapproved data sources somehow crept in, and that all the checks for personally identifiable information, PII, are done, dusted, and signed off on. No exceptions.
Remember, it's not just about the raw data, it's about what happened to it along the way. You have to validate that entire pre-processing pipeline. So, ask the questions. Was the data cleaned correctly? How did the team handle missing values and duplicates? Were the right features chosen? How was it all standardized and encoded for the model? And maybe the most critical question of all, was it split into training, validation, and test sets without any data leakage? You need proof that this whole process is solid and can be repeated.
Okay, so the data is technically sound. Now we get to what might be the most important checkpoint of them all. This is the moral and ethical one. This is where we test for fairness. We shift from asking, is the data correct, to the much bigger question, is the data fair? Bias can hide in plain sight, so your job is to be a detective, to review the reports and look for the telltale signs. Is there a huge imbalance in how different demographic groups are represented? Is the data all from one city or one time of year, making it pretty useless anywhere else? Are certain groups, especially vulnerable ones, just not there in the data? These are the giant red flags you're searching for.
And this isn't just a gut feeling, right? Your data science team can give you the hard numbers. You need to be asking for reports on things like statistical parity to see if outcomes are similar across different groups. Check the population stability index to see if your data's gotten stale. You should be reviewing specific fairness metrics and digging into the error rates for different subgroups. This is the objective evidence, the proof you need to make a judgment call.
Now, if you do find bias, the conversation doesn't just stop. There are ways to fix it or at least mitigate it. 2 really common ones are reweighting, which basically gives more importance to the underrepresented data points, and resampling, where you might strategically copy data from minority groups or even delete data from majority groups to get a better balance. The key thing for you is to make sure these steps are actually taken, and, this is huge, that they're documented. All right, this brings us to the moment of truth. All the technical checks are done, the fairness assessments are complete. Now it is time for you, the AI project manager, to make the call. This is it. All the analysis, all those reports, all the debates, it all boils down to this single critical decision point.
And you've really got 3 ways this can go. A go is the green light. The data is ready, and training can officially begin. A conditional go is like a yellow light. It means, yeah, there are some minor issues, but we have a clear, agreed-upon plan to fix them. And then there's the no-go, the toughest call to make. This is the red light. It means there are critical flaws and the team has to go back to the drawing board.
Now, your decision isn't just coming from a gut feeling. It's backed by a structured checklist, just like this. Has the data actually met the quality thresholds? Is that pipeline stable? Have we dealt with any critical biased issues? Is everything fully documented? And have all the stakeholders, we're talking legal, compliance, everyone, given their sign-off? You can only confidently give that green light when you can go down this list and check off every single box.
So you've made the call, but guess what? You're not quite done yet. The last piece of the puzzle, your final mandate, is to make sure every single step we just talked about is meticulously documented for the record.
And why is this so important? Well, because this documentation becomes your project's audit trail. It's the proof of due diligence, it's what you'll pull out for internal or external audits, and it's what's going to satisfy that ever-growing list of regulations around responsible AI. It is absolutely 100% non-negotiable.
So let's just wrap this all up. As the AI gatekeeper, your mandate really has 5 parts. Make sure the data is high quality and that it was transformed correctly. Make sure it's representative and fair. Make a clear go or no-go decision, and finally, make sure the entire process is fully documented. If you do all that, that's what success looks like at this stage.
And that kind of leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? As all of our tools for building AI get more and more automated, does the role of this human in the loop, this thoughtful final gatekeeper, actually become the single most important job in making sure we build AI that's truly responsible? Something to think about.